Hello children, today once again we are going to revise the remaining part of chapter number 6, that is tissues, and we will also practice some of the questions at the end of this session. So let us continue with what we have done in our previous session. Today we are going to start with the muscular tissues. It is made up of muscle fibers which are long cells and it allows a movement in our body. So the question comes, how muscles can cause movement in our body? So the answer of this question is they contain special proteins called as contractile protein, and these proteins cause contraction and relaxation of muscle, and that is how the muscles result in movement of the body parts. There are two types of muscles found in our body. These can be voluntary and involuntary muscles. So here you can see that basically there are three types of muscles which are present in our body, and out of these three, two are involuntary muscles, that is cardiac muscle and smooth muscles, and one is involuntary muscle, that is skeletal muscle. As the slide suggests that the cardiac muscle is present in the wall of heart. So these cardiac muscles are involuntary muscles because we do not have any control over the movement or contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscles. And the second type of muscles are skeletal muscles. As its name suggests that these types of muscles are present around our skeletal system. So we can move these muscles according to our desire. That is why these are called as voluntary muscles. And the third type of muscle, which is the smooth muscle tissues, these are involuntary muscles which are present in our body at the places where the movement is not in our control. That is why these muscles are called as involuntary muscles. Now let us once go through the comparison between striated skeletal voluntary muscles and smooth unstriated involuntary muscles. So first of all, we will discuss about the basic characters of voluntary muscle, that is we can move them according to our own desire or will. As its name suggests, it is voluntary, means according to our own desire, whereas in the involuntary muscle we cannot move them according to our own desire. Now the second difference between these two is they are also called as skeletal muscles because they are attached to our skeletal system. In case of involuntary smooth muscles, these are basically called as smooth muscles. And the third difference is these voluntary muscles are also called as striated muscles because of presence of dark and light bands over them. These presence or occurrence of alternate dark and light bands give them a pattern of striations. That is why these muscles are called as striated muscles. Whereas in case of involuntary muscles like smooth muscles, these striations are totally absent. That is why these are called as unstriated muscles or smooth muscles. Now the next difference between these two is the cells of voluntary muscles have more than two nucleus and they do not have any branches in them. They have long cylindrical structure. Whereas in case of smooth muscles, the cells of the involuntary muscles are long and have pointed tapering ends present in them. So these are some basic differences between smooth and striated voluntary muscles. Now let us discuss about the cardiac muscles. As its name suggests that it is present around the heart. These are a special kind of involuntary muscles. These muscles are present in heart, that is why it is called as cardiac muscles, and they perform a rhythmic contraction and relaxation of these muscles throughout our life. Without tiring, these muscles continuously perform their function of contraction and relaxation. They are cylindrical in shape, they have branches, and there is a single nucleus present in them. Cardiac muscle consists of individual heart muscle cells connected by intercalated discs to work as a single functional organ. Now let us discuss about the another type and very important type of tissue, that is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is very special. And to understand this, I would like to ask you one question, that is how do we react to stimuli? if there will be any bomb blast, suddenly your body or you will react for that. And there are various other stimuli which are present in environment and we react according to that stimuli. So how this reaction is generated in our body? This is because of the nervous tissues present in our body. They are capable of transmitting information quickly from the brain to different parts of the body and vice versa. Therefore, nervous tissues are found in nerves, brain and spinal cord. The nervous tissues are made up of cells which are called as neurons or nerve cells. And this is also one of the major question which is generally asked, that what is a new unit of our nervous system. So the unit of nervous system is neuron. The unit of our body is cell. In the same way, the unit of our nervous system is neuron. These neurons connect together to form the nerves in our body. Now the structure of neuron, it is elongated cell with a cell body that consists of some branch-like structure which are called as dendrites. There is a nucleus present in the center of the cell body. The nerve endings of the cell are connected with the cell body via axon. A nerve cell can be up to 1 meter long. So here in this slide you can see the structure or neuron anatomy. Anatomy means how it looks like, what is the composition of this. So this term is called as anatomy in biology. So let us study about anatomy of neuron. It has a highly branched structure and its entire structure can be broadly divided into two parts, that is cell body, that is the upper part which has a star-like structure, and the other part which has a extension which is called as axon part. So the cell body contain nucleus in them, and around that nucleus cytoplasm is present. Cytoplasm is not marked here and not even in your textbook, but that cytoplasm is present around the nucleus in neuron cells. And at the end of this cell body, you can see a branch-like structure. That branch-like structure is forming a very special unit which is known as dendrite. So basically in cell body you will see nucleus, cytoplasm and dendrites, and then you will see that one of the part of the cell body extend to one side, and this forms a axon structure which is another long extension of cell body, and it has a branched end which is known as axon terminal, and this axon terminal and dendrites plays a very important role in transmitting the nerve impulse from one neuron to another neuron. These nerve impulses can be received or transferred by these dendrites and terminal axons. So basically here you can see the structure of a neuron which has cell body and axon two part. That cell body can be divided into three parts: nucleus, soma, which is cytoplasm here, and dendrites. The other axon part has Schwann cells which are present in them. It has a node-like structure which is known as node of Renvier. It has a covering of myelin, so that forms a myelin sheath on it. But all these three things, Schwann cells, node of Renvier and myelin, is not given in your textbook, so you need not to be worried about it. In your higher classes you will be studying these structure. And the end part of this axon is forming a very special and very important structure which is known as axon terminal. Now this chapter is completed. The revision of this chapter is completed. Now let us practice some of the questions. Children, this time the questions will be in MCQ form, as well as there will be some brief type of questions where you will have to write the answer in a form of 2-3 lines or maybe 4-5 lines. So please be ready for writing such type of questions. These questions should explain the answer. So you will need to type the answer on the screen. So please practice it, so that you will not face any problem while giving your exam. So here in today's session, we are practicing only the MCQs. There is a first question, children, that is, which of the following statement is incorrect? it is important to note here we are asking about the incorrect option. The options are: parenchyma tissue have intracellular spaces, collenchymatous tissue are irregularly thickened at corners, apical and intercalary meristem are permanent tissues. Then the last option is meristematic tissue is in its early stage lac vacuole. And the options given for this is A, that says first and second statement are incorrect, and B, which says that third statement is only incorrect, and the C option says that third and fourth statement is incorrect, and the last option says that only second is incorrect. Children, you have already studied about these tissues, and we know that parenchymatous tissues have intracellular spaces in them, so that is a correct statement. It will not be the answer. The second statement says that collenchymatous tissues are irregularly thickened at the corners. That is also correct. And the third statement says that apical and intercalary meristem are permanent tissues. So these are meristematic tissues. Meristematic tissues are never permanent tissues. These are immature tissues. These are undifferentiated tissues which will differentiate later. So this is the incorrect statement. And the fourth statement is meristematic tissues in its early stages lac vacuole. That is correct statement. It is not given in your textbook, but that is a correct statement. So here the correct option is option number B, that is only third statement is incorrect. Now another type of questions, that is assertion and reason type of question. In this you will get one assertion and another reason, and then you will have to correlate these assertion and reasons and justify your answer. Let us practice this question also. The assertion says a simple tissue is made of only one type of cell. And the reason for this statement is various simple tissues in plants are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. And there are 4 options given for this. The first option is if both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. And the second option says if both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. And the third option is if assertion is true but reason is false. And the last option is if both assertion and reason are false. The answer in such condition will be B, that is if both assertion and reason are true but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Why it is so? The solution is also given here. A simple permanent tissue is that tissue which is made up of similar permanent cells that carry out the same functions or have same structure. Simple permanent tissue are of 3 types: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Children, these questions are little challenging for you because these are new type of questions, so you need to practice it a lot. You can Google such type of question and then you can practice. Now another type of question is the tissue in a group of similar kind of cells is specialized to perform a particular function in the body. Therefore, presence of tissues in a multicellular organism ensures. The option is faster development, second option is division of labor, and the third option is higher reproductive potential, and the last option is body strength. This is a very easy question, children. We all have studied about it. And when we started with the cell, that time also we studied about it, division of labor. That is a unique characteristic of multicellular organisms. So you should not have any doubt on this question's answer. The answer is B, division of labor. Now one more question. A person met with an accident in which 2 long bones of his hand were dislocated. Which among the following may be the possible reason for this? The first one is tendon break. Second one is break of skeletal muscle tissues, ligament break, areolar tissue break. And here the answer is ligament break, because you know that ligament connects between bone to bone and tendon connects bone to muscle. So you should not have any doubt here also. Now the another type of question is based on diagram. So go through this. A tiny pore are found on the surface of the leaves of plant. These pores are called stomata. These stomata surrounded by a kidney-shaped guard cells provide many vital functions to the plants. Here the structure of that guard cell is also provided. Now the question is based on this explanation. Which of the following functions is not served by the stomata for the plants? The options are exchange of gases, particularly CO2 and O2 with atmosphere. Next option is loss of water in the form of vapors during transpiration. Third option is helps to create pressure for the water to rise upward by its process of transpiration. And the last option is it helps the leaves to carry out the process of photosynthesis. So here again you need to logically think about the correct answer, and the correct answer is D, that is helps the leaves to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Like this way you can practice many more questions. Here I have selected some of the questions for you. You can practice these questions. In these two slides these questions are given. You can copy it down, or you can take printout, or you can freeze your screen and try to solve out these questions. That is for today. And thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for your exams. Again, I would like to request you not to be panicked. Don't pressurize yourself. These are totally MCQ based question. Only few brief questions will be coming. That will be very easy question. So please don't pressurize yourself. Relax and study hard. Thank you.